Now we're going to look at how to multiply decimals, and then our goal is just that we will be able to multiply decimals, specifically if they have positive and negative values. So just a quick reminder, this is just to make these problems easier. It doesn't really have to be done this way, but it makes it a whole lot easier. If we put the longer number on the top. And again, that's just to make it easier. I don't really have to do that. It won't change the answer, just makes it easier. And then for our first step, we are going to line up the end and that is not the decimal. So when we were adding and subtracting, we want to line the decimals up. But when we're multiplying, we want to line the ends up. So we can fill in this first example here. I'm going to put the 7.23 on top because it's longer, not because it comes first. I'm not going to worry about putting my positive and negatives in my problem. And then I want 5.4. So I'm lining up the end of my numbers, not the decimals this time. After I have those set up, then I'm just going to multiply. So let's go ahead and do that multiplying. 4 times 3 is 12. Then we take the 4 times 2 is 8. Plus 1 we carried makes 9. And we take the 4 times a 7 is 28. So I'm done multiplying the 4. Now I move over to the 5. When I'm multiplying the next value, the 5, I'm going to write the answer down below that. 5 times 3 is 15. Again, I'm going to write that first answer down below the 5. 5 times 2 is 10, plus the 1 I carried makes 11. 5 times 7 is 35, plus the 1 makes 36. And again, I had to leave this space here, so we can put a 0 for a placeholder if we need to, or we can leave it blank. And then we add down, that's going to be 2, 14, 10. If we add 1 plus 8 is 9, plus we carry the 1, that makes our 10. And then that's 8 plus the 1 makes 9, 3. And then our last step is we're going to move our decimal the correct number of times. So to do that, we count, there's 2 decimal places here, there's 1 decimal place here, altogether that's 3 decimal places. So in my final answer, I need to move the decimal 1, 2, 3 places. That makes 39.04. But we have one more thing. It says don't forget, we need to check the sign. So I'm noticing up here, 1 positive, 1 negative. Think back to our integer rules. It might help to have those out. When they're different signs, it's going to be negative. So my answer is going to be negative 39.042. Let's repeat these steps into the next number. Again, I'm going to put the 2.05 on top, not because it comes first, but because it's the longer number. It just happens to come first. 4.9 on bottom. And then I'm going to multiply. 9 times 5, 45. 9 times 0 is 0, plus the 4, that gives me 4. 9 times 2 is 18. Then we're done with that 4. We're going to multiply the 4 here, so I start underneath that here. 4 times 5 is 20. And then 4 times 0 is 0, plus the 2 is 2. 4 times 8, I'm sorry, 4 times 2 is 8. And then I can add, again, I can put that extra 0 for a placeholder here if I need. I'm going to add down, that's going to be 5, 4, 10, so bring down the 0, carry the 1. That's 8, 9, 10. And then our step number 3 was to move the decimal. So that's, again, 2 decimal places here, 1 decimal place here. So altogether, we're looking at 3 decimal places. So in our answer, we go 1, 2, 3. So we're at 10.045. Then I need to check my sign. So I have the same sign, both a negative. And if they're both the same sign, it's going to be positive. So positive 10.045. And then the only other thing I would say is we add these lines to count the decimal, but you wouldn't necessarily need that in your final answer. In your final answer, you would just say this is 10.045. Or on this one to the left we would say negative 39.042. We don't need to show the moving the decimal lines. We just do that to help us figure out where it's going to be.